Hello. How's everybody this morning? Good, good. You know, that was, we just played The Byrds, 1965.
Wow.
Who knew it? That old.
That was the first?
That was The Byrds.
Well, Peter, Paul, and Mary sang it before that.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah.
That could be. Yeah, no, The Byrds started in 1964, and they recorded this in L.A. So, yeah. I thought they were a British group because they kind of look British, but I had to look it up and make sure. So, don't want to tell anything bad or not true.
Not true.
Not true. So, just made more coffee in the back. There was plenty of coffee, so feel free. And we are going to do something very, very, very slightly different. We're not going to do the announcements until just a little bit later. I guess we've had a few people that didn't tune in right at the beginning, so they kind of missed stuff. So we're going to
Well, they have to refresh, apparently. They have to refresh. What?
Tell them to come to church so they can hear it.
Well, actually, I was going to say something about that since you brought it up. How does that work that way? I was apparently supposed to play this other song that we were going to play this morning, and for whatever happened, I'm not going to. I'm going to play it next week.
There we go.
So you'll have to listen.
And next week is Easter.
Yes, next week is Easter.
Warning.
Yep.
It will not be what you think.
Not at all. Not at all. We do have a couple patron saints by the name of John Lennon and George Carlin, though.
George and John.
And John said, "A dream you dream alone is just a dream. A dream you dream together is reality." Whatever that is. Whatever reality is.
Yeah.
And George, I think everyone should treat one another in a Christian manner. I will not, however, be responsible for the consequences. Never knew.
Did you hear my eyes roll?
Okay, Hulk Hogan. His real name is Terry Jean Boulay. I know. Ice-T is Tracy Moreau. Meatloaf is Marvin Lee Aday. Queen Latifah is Dana Owens. Robert Blake is Michael James Vicencio Gubitosi. So
Probably a good thing he changed his name.
it's probably a good thing, yeah. Stevie Wonder was Steve Lynn Morris. And Tom Cruise, yeah, I got everybody's attention. Thomas Malpathir the Fourth. Yeah, I know. Mapother. You know, I'm sure I didn't quite pronounce it correctly. Mapathra.
The fourth?
It's an interesting last name. Whoopi Goldberg is Karen Johnson with a C.
Caryn.
Right. Quite pronounce it correctly. It's an interesting with a C. Right.
That I would believe. You have no shoelaces. No, Michelle.
Oh,
No, neither do I.
did you lose them?
You don't either? Is that a thing now? No shoelaces?
They were discounted.
We're twinning.
How do you keep your shoes on?
These have stretches.
Yeah, they're little.
Oh, the stretchy. Oh.
I see. Gotcha.
It's already 20 years old. And they're positive.
A little learning is a dangerous thing. Love me, love my dog.
For sure.
And he's a fool that makes his doctor his heir. Benjamin Franklin.
Nobody's going to make their doctor.
Benjamin Franklin said, "Don't do it." So
Yeah, no.
don't do it.
Don't.
Don't do it. Never a good thing. It is not enough to possess wit. One must have enough of it to avoid having too much. And if you have less, obviously you're a dimwit.
No, you're witless.
Witless? Okay. There are two sides to every question, my side and the wrong side.
There's really three sides. Your side, my side, and the truth is somewhere in the middle.
That is probably more true, yeah. Mediocrity knows nothing higher than itself, but talent instantly recognizes genius. Interesting. Why should a man's mind have been thrown into such close, sad, sensational, inexplicable relations with such a precarious object as his body? Or a woman. I mean, it doesn't have to be exclusive to men. They just back in the middle 1800s, they didn't recognize women in just about anything they did, really. So there you go.
Hey, we're coming to it.
Yeah.
I know. That's kind of my point.
Stand back.
Kind of my point.
Watch us.
Did you hear about the frog that was illegally parked?
He got
Illegally?
towed.
He got towed.
We had a toad in our yard. We were working on our yard the other day.
Just the other day.
This big thing.
Great big guy.
Phil said, "Oh, look at that frog! Look at that frog!" And I couldn't see anything. And then,
He was in the dirt and he was dirt colored.
you could. He was just
So
very
we
well
were
camouflaged.
moving dirt around. He was a big guy. Big guy. If April showers bring May flowers, what do May flowers bring?
Pilgrims.
Pilgrims. Wow. I'm going to stop. And no, she does not look over my shoulder when I do this stuff.
So should we talk a little bit about the calendar stuff
Absolutely,
now?
yeah.
I think we've
People
been
are
going.
probably tuned in
We're
by now.
probably going.
You know, we're only doing this for people in Kuala Lumpur and Alaska because, you know,
What?
well, it takes them a while to tune in sometimes. They don't
I
get the
think
first
it's
part of it.
just anybody.
Yeah, I'm kidding. But we do have people in Kuala Lumpur and Alaska. So,
Somebody do something to them.
like what?
I don't know. If I knew, I'd do it.
Even indigo.
So, this week we got stuff going on. Monday night is A Course in Miracles. If you don't know what that is, go talk to Nina over there.
Wednesday. Name?
Wednesday is drumming with Daryl. If you don't know anything about drumming, talk to Daryl. Thursday is tarot class. It's my last tarot class. I've gotten that tarot book done, and everything I teach has been translated into that. Sold the first 12 copies within 24 hours. So I'm making 24 more, and 16 of those are spoken for. So if you have any interest in that, let me know, because they're going fast again.
Cool.
After that class, though, we're going to get together and just do practices. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Practice what you learn.
Is Sammy after church?
Is Sammy after church? That depends on if Andrea shows up.
Here.
He hasn't yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
She usually shows up at the very end.
Yeah. So,
We'll tell
could
her.
be.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll see.
Yeah. Are we going to tell them about the June thing here or the August thing somewhere else?
You know, now would be fine.
Okay.
In June, we're going to do something here at the Divine Fellowship. Oh, it's warm in here. We're going to do, which is wonderful because I've been freezing, solstice intuitive readings. It'll be here at the church from 1 to 3. We've got
It's a very, very minimum expo. Very mini expo.
There's no entrance fee, but each of the readers is going to charge their own fee. We have somebody going to do angel readings. We have somebody who's going to do palmistry. We have somebody who's going to do tarot and oracle cards. We have somebody who's going to do divine messages and or power realms readings. Where's my list? What am I forgetting?
You're forgetting stuff.
I know.
Because there was a big list.
There was a big list. Past life stuff and crystals and shaman stones. And maybe we'll have an astrologer, don't know yet. Maybe we'll have a numerologist, don't know yet for sure. So I'm still waiting to hear back from
Do you
people.
have the
But
aura pictures on there?
oh, that's the other thing, aura photos. Valerie's coming in with her aura machine. She's going to take pictures and then read your aura for you. So it'll be very, very different.
She's the only one in this part of the state that does that.
That does that, yeah.
So,
So that's that. The 21st of June from 1 to 3. We'll probably need a little help the day before setting up tables, so if anybody would be willing to do that, if you're interested in that.
Just a one-day thing.
Just a one-day thing, so it could be really, really fun. So more information to come on that as it unfolds. Then August,
I don't know the date.
do you remember Conscious
know the
Living date?
8th and 9th.
August 8th and
Friday and Saturday.
Friday and Saturday, August 8th and 9th. We have got a booth at the Conscious Living Expo. So we're not doing an expo, but they are. So we're having a booth there. So more information to come on that. I think that's just touch on the iceberg. More information to come from there.
Ta-da.
Anything else? Am I missing anything?
Probably.
Probably.
Doesn't matter.
So we have a guest speaker today. Let's give a big round of applause and divine fellowship welcome to Michele Lanigan. Let me get the lights turned on. Will you? You might want to take your sweater off. Can you guys hear me okay? Is that your coffee?
That's my.
Yeah, good.
That's my.
If it was Phil's, I'm just going to take it.
I'm juggling too much here. Well, good morning, everybody. Good morning. So, last week at the manifestation workshop, I talked a little bit about how sometimes we don't know what we want to manifest, where our end is. And that's what it was for me doing this message today. I had no idea what I was going to do, and I've been kind of working on it for a few weeks and asking Spirit, and I was really kind of so absorbed with the manifestation workshop. But when I sit down and meditate, the only thing I got was Tanzania National Anthem. Yeah, that's what I thought. Laura's going, what? Yeah, what the heck? And so anyways, I resisted it as long as I could, and then finally I started looking at some things about Tanzania. And I don't know if everybody know, but in January I went to Tanzania for a couple of weeks. And that kind of must have been what spurred it. So Tanzania is about the size of Texas. It's not really huge, but it's not a tiny country. And it's just a little bit smaller. And it was colonized by the Germans in the 1800s. And then after World War I, the British took over, right? Because that's what they did back then. And in 1961, they got their independence, and they became, let's see if I can say this right, Tanganyika. And in 1964, they united with the island of Zanzibar and became the United Republic of Tanzania. And Tanzania is most known for Kilimanjaro. And they're huge wildlife areas. They have 28% of their country is protected wildlife parks. They have 17 national parks. And it was weird because we went to Tangire Reserve, we went to Serengeti National Park, and Ngorongoro Conservation Area. So I don't know what the difference is. I didn't get that far into it, but could you imagine a third of your country just to protect wildlife? So very cool stuff. And they're also known for Olduvai Gorge. Do you guys know what Olduvai Gorge is? So Olduvai Gorge was where, if you remember, Mary and Louis Leakey, they discovered the first early human skull, a fossilized skull. They had found tools in Olduvai, but they hadn't found any fossilized bone fragments. And Mary Leakey actually found this little bit of skull. And that just kind of took off. That was sort of the foundation of like figuring out all of our evolution in Africa. And that piece they determined was about 2 million years old. And there were older things found, fossils, not necessarily there.
Was that Lucy?
That's what Rose is gonna.
No, Lucy was not far from there,
Yeah.
but it was not at this particular. I don't think it was in the gorge. I can't remember, but yeah, it's kind of. I think Lucy was actually older. I think Lucy was like 3 million years old because, yeah, she wasn't like the one that they found was Homo habilis, so it was in the human family, or genus, if you want to be specific, whereas she was an Australopithecine, if I remember correctly. It's been a long time. So I didn't think there was going to be test questions. So.
You're in the spot.
I know, I'm in the spot. But it was really exciting for me because, that was, my degree was in anthropology, and I studied archaeology here and in England. So, I was really excited, and then I didn't get to go, and I was so frustrated. So if anybody wants to go next year, we'll go. There's the language, there's 100 tribes in Tanzania, and they have never had a civil war. It's the only country in Africa that has never had a civil war. And I can't remember how many countries there are in Africa. I'm thinking it's like in the range of like 60. And this is the only one that hasn't had a civil war. And their language of the country, their national language is Swahili. But in school you learn both Swahili and English. And school is free. The average wage in Tanzania is $1,200 per year. Wow. So basically $100 a year. So it's by our standards, we would consider them very poor. In spite of that, they take refugees or have taken refugees from Rwanda, Uganda, and Somalia. Isn't that crazy? I mean, think about that when you're that poor and you give so much of your resources to protecting wildlife and animals, and you have limited resources, but you're still accepting refugees. I thought that was just really cool. And they have a woman president, and they're and they're mostly Muslim, but there are other churches there. And I was reading about the national anthem, and at one time they still have kids. They'll play it in the morning, and kids have to sing it. It's not very long, but the kids have to sing it. And I think it was a Jehovah's Witness said, we don't want our kids doing that. And it went through the court system in Tanzania up to the Supreme Court of Tanzania. And they said, no, we're not going to, you don't have to make kids sing the national anthem. So that's kind of interesting. So for this very new, small and poor country, they're very progressive in their values. I thought that was my feeling. And we did go to a cultural center, and it was like a museum on the history, and the people that were showing us around were just so excited and so proud, and they took us in, and this is the room where so-and-so met and so-and-so met and all these people, and they formed our government, and they were just so excited about, because it was, 64, that was, okay, math time, was that 60 years? Daryl's counting. No, 60 years, but very new country. So it was just really amazing. And one of the things that going back to the Olduvai Gorge, so part of the trip was we did see some things in town, like the museums and stuff like that, but most of it was out in the bush. And we went to 3 different places out in the wilderness. 2 of them were like tent structures, and they were kind of like yurts, but you know how yurts have a solid side, I think, and then they have the tent top? These did not have any solid side. They were just tents, but they were on this platform and kind of like a deck going around it, and they were separated. I mean, you could see the other tents, but you weren't like really close to them. And they would come in, they had like canvas on the outside, and they would come and open them up in the daytime, and on the inside it was a netting. It was heavier than just like mosquito netting. It was pretty strong netting. And then they would come in at night, and they would close everything up and turn you on your bed and put the mosquito netting around the bed and stuff. It was very luxurious. They had like mahogany floors, and they had tile bathrooms and all this. It was beautiful. And the first night I was there, I was woke up at 3 a.m. to a hyena outside. And luckily I didn't find out it was a hyena until the next day. And then one of the last places we went to was the Serengeti National Park. And I was that was a tent thing too. And for some reason they put, the old single lady down at the end. So I'm the last tent. And by myself, there's another tent, but there's nobody in there. And this is a place that they've had a lot of animals around there. And we regularly saw a gazelle, and I think the gazelle like to come around where the people are because they know the people will try to keep the lions away. And so we had, I had gazelle around my tent, and the one that was a couple over, the lady in that was Susan. This was, she owns the company that took us. It's Elite Travel here in town. They're behind the Flash Cube building, and just her and her daughter, all they do pretty much is take people on these amazing tours all over the world. Anyways, so she was in the one a couple tents down, and an elephant came through and knocked down a tree behind her little tent.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, we were right in the wilderness with the animals. And one of the places we stayed at that was not a tent, it looked like a row of cottages, and they had kind of the main building with sort of a lounge area in the restaurant and stuff like that. And then you had this path, and we weren't able to go by ourselves. If you leave, you can't leave your room by yourself. And they give you a radio, and so if you needed to go somewhere, you'd call them on the radio, and they'd come and get you and escort you back to keep you safe. Well, this particular one, when we got there, it was already dark, and we had checked in, and the guy was taking me to my room. Again, old lady at the end. So I'm walking along, and they gave us flashlights, and I had my flashlight, and I'm standing next to him talking, and so all the rooms are on this side, and then over here is just grass and bushes and stuff like that. And I turned my flashlight, and there's like 40 pairs of eyes staring at me. Oh man, I just gave me a heart attack at first, and then I realized it was the gazelle and maybe zebra out there. And get up in the morning, one morning, and there's just gazelle and zebra hanging out outside, and I got a picture of a sign, and it says, "Do not go beyond this point." And there's zebra and gazelle hanging out back there. And I think I saw an ostrich and a wildebeest, but we really were out in the bush. And when I went there, I kind of expected it'd be like here where you go out into the woods or something, and you go to the national park, and you think, oh, look, a deer. Oh, look, an elk. Or, oh, look, I heard an elk. There are animals everywhere. We saw thousands of wildebeest and hundreds of zebra and elephant and giraffe and all the animals, and every day, all day. It was just crazy. I was totally blown away to see. I mean, we went into one of the parks. I think it was the Tangiri Park, and we go in, and and we're kind of hurrying to get to the spot where they wanted to take us. I think to our tent hotel, and we go in, and here's this big old elephant, and I'm like, elephant, and the guy's like, oh, we'll see more, and I'm like, but what if we don't? What if I was freaking out? I've got so many. I think I posted them on Facebook. Some of you may have seen them, but anyway, so that was a really different feel, to really feel like you're in the animals' home, because they were all over the place. They were on the roads, they were right outside your room, they were everywhere. And you couldn't, when we were in our vehicles doing the, safari thing, you could not get out of your vehicles. And there was one time we were looking at some lions. They had just finished eating, and they were all chilling, laying like cats do, and enjoying the sunshine. And I think there was 9 of them all like curled up together. It was a little family. And all of a sudden, one of the lionesses jumps up and has that stalking look. You know how cats do when they're stalking? And I'm like, holy crap. And I look over, and a ways away, there was another vehicle, and the guy had gotten out of the truck. They had gotten stuck in the mud, and so they were looking to see how bad it was to pull him out. But it made it very real why you don't get out of the vehicles and why you don't leave your little room at night. So anyways, I kind of got off on the animals. There was a point to that. But that was the most exciting. Oh, one of them we were at, the one that I told you was where the elephant was. One night I was getting ready to go to bed. It was like 10 o'clock at night, and it was very, very quiet. And then I get in bed, and all of a sudden I hear this noise out on the deck. And I'm thinking it's probably like the guys are coming to, just be sure it's secure or something like that. And I'm like, because it did. And then I realized those weren't footsteps. I was like, oh God, what's what's going on? And I had my phone in one hand and the radio in the other, and I'm like, now I don't know why I had my phone. I mean, who am I going to call? I guess I could call Susan. She was 2 tenths over or something, but and I'm like, oh, I don't want to be the stupid, scared little old lady at the end. So I didn't do anything. I just waited a second, and then I heard the noise was up on top of the tent. So I'm assuming it was monkeys that were wandering through my little place. But anyways, so one morning, and that place was really gorgeous, and it had a very different feel. It was very odd. And it's like, you know how you go to the beach and the beach has a certain feel, and you go to the mountains and the mountains have a certain feel, or you're out in the desert or maybe on a farm, and the land really does have excuse me, have a different feel. And this was like that, and the feel was like, oh, I don't know how to put it. It just felt full of life. I guess that's the only way I could describe it. It just felt like there was a lot going on. It was like we were in the New York City of the animal kingdom. It was just like very busy kind of energy, but also extremely grounded, and it felt very comfortable there. Anyway, so I sat down to meditate. I opened up my little canvas thing there, and then I closed the netting to make sure I would be safe. But I sat there and I was literally just kind of in awe of being able to look out over the Serengeti and the trees and the grasses. And the grasses were pretty tall. They were about 4 foot high, probably 3. And there was no animals out there, but you could hear the birds and some animals out in the distance. And I just went into meditation, and I thought, just noticed how it felt. Just noticed how the land felt, how the animals felt. And then I was thinking about our evolution, and all these humans and human-like animals, creatures, people, whatever you want to call them, that had been there millions of years ago. And I tried to imagine what it'd be like, because there was this field out there. What if they were out there? Because they were little. They were only like Lucy. You mentioned Lucy. Lucy was only about, I think, 3.5, 4 feet tall. So they were pretty small millions of years ago, only no more than 4 feet tall. And we knew that we had the tools. We know they made tools. They assumed they had language, and they assumed that they were in groups. And so I was just kind of imagining what they were doing, hanging out there. I was picturing a little family group, about 10 or 20, hanging out there in the grass and just doing their thing. And it just dawned on me, kind of, wow, Spirit created this. At some point, Spirit decided this little planet would be a great place to make us, to make humans, as a way to grow and to learn and experience life. And Spirit, whatever you want to say, whether you really want to call it God or Spirit or consciousness or something. But we were created, and that's where we started. And then we just took off and walked all around the world. It was just an amazing feeling just to think about that and experience it. But anyway, so Tanzania national anthem. So the Tanzania national anthem. Do you want it in English or Swahili?
Swahili.
Swahili, I knew. Anybody know Swahili? Oh, good, so you won't know if I'm doing it wrong. I hope nobody on camera does. Let me tell you it first in English, because this did kind of blow me away when I read it too. Because it's very different than what you would think of most national anthems. And it starts out, God bless Africa. And I thought that was interesting. People in Africa, while they identify with what country they're from, they also consider themselves African. And we don't. Most of the rest of the world doesn't identify by their continent. They identify by their country. So God bless Africa, bless its leaders, wisdom, unity, and peace. These are our shields. Africa and its people. Bless Africa, bless Africa, bless us, the children of Africa. God bless Tanzania. grant eternal freedom and unity to its women, men, and children. And I thought that was weird too, because we would usually do men, women, children. But it says, God grant eternal freedom and unity to its women, men, and children. God bless Tanzania and its people. Bless Tanzania, bless Tanzania, bless us, the children of Tanzania. So I thought that was really beautiful. Their national anthem is a prayer. Isn't that cool? That gave me goosebumps when I read it. Their national anthem is a prayer. Okay, so you guys want to hear the Swahili version? Sure. Okay, let me get a drink. Get the app. I think they want the entertainment of me trying. Mugu Ibariki, Africa. Wabariki Viongozi Weke. Hekima Umoja na Amani. Hizi ni Nangeo Zetu. Ibariki, Africa. Ibariki, Africa. Ibariki is bless. There, you know a Swahili word, bless. Ibariki. Tubariki Watoto wa Africa. I think Tubariki is God. Nope, that's another form of bless. Mungu Ibariki Tanzania. Dumisha Ura na Umoja. Wake kwa wame. Now I did practice this. Now watoto. Mungu Ibariki Tanzania. Now watu wake. Ibariki Tanzania. Ibariki Tanzania. Tubariki watoto wa Tanzania. I did it! I know, huh?
Michelle, read the English version, but instead of Africa, substitute the Divine Fellowship.
Well, that's what I was going to do. You kind of jumped ahead. I was going to go, so you guys now know, God bless. So, Mungu Ibariki, Mungu Ibariki, Mungu Ibariki, the Divine Fellowship. Mungu Ibariki, the Divine Fellowship. Yay! You guys are so fun. So, I know another word, Jambo, is hello. And one of the places we went to, they have a place where you, that they set up for people that were disabled, and they make things that they sell to tourists. And they actually, were weaving blankets and making glass and stuff like that. But they taught us a little sign language. I'm sorry, I don't remember anything but hello, which is jumbo, 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 jumbo. Okay, so the things you learn in the Divine Fellowship. So you guys ready for a little meditation? So go ahead and put your feet on the ground and close your eyes. Just take some deep breaths. Notice how your feet feel and that connection to the earth. All the planet has different energy fields. Richland, Washington has its own feel. It's all still part of the earth. And be grounded and connected to that earth. You can either ground through your feet or connect it through the base of your spine. That's your first chakra. Whatever works for you. Just really notice how good that feels to be connected to the planet. And imagine yourself in your own little bubble. Find the edge of your bubble around you. This would be the edge of your aura. And just be in that little bubble, or big bubble. You can make it however you want. Most people they're about 18 inches out. And just take some deep breaths. It's relaxing and may feel like nap time, but nope. This is meditation. And just be in the center of your head. This is kind of where your third eye is, right there in the middle of your head, just behind your forehead. And take some deep breaths and notice how that feels. And let's go on a journey in time and space And let's go back to Africa, about 2 million years ago. And notice how that feels to your body. Does it feel familiar? Does it feel scary? Does it feel safe? Where you're at is safe. You're protected by spirit. You're an observer. And just notice your family and notice the lineage from way back then until now. How many ancestral moms have you had? Too many to count. Mummies and daddies. And I'm going to read a list of animals that are going to come and visit you. One is going to come and visit you, but I'm going to read the list first, and then pay attention to which one comes to visit you. And there's 7. Elephant, lion, baboon, rhino, wildebeest, lovebirds, or zebra. And just notice which animal came to say hello to you. I'll read the list again. Elephant, lion, baboon, rhino, wildebeest, lovebirds, or a zebra. And notice if you have a message from them or if they're just saying hello. If you have a message for them. But I'll talk about what they symbolize here in a minute. So go ahead and come back to the Divine Fellowship. Today is April 13th, 2025 at 10:52 in the morning in Richland, Washington. So just be in present time. And above your head, imagine a big gold sun. We talk a lot of time about when we heal, about letting go. And you always want to bring energy back in. So imagine a big gold sun above you. And let this gold sun call any energy you've left in the planet. Call it back. Just imagine that gold sun above your head and let it be a magnet attracting any energy you may have left anywhere, anytime. And let it be in that gold sun. And then bring that energy into your body. It's your energy, it's neutral, it's revitalized. And let it come in and fill up your torso and your arms and your legs. And it touches every single cell in your body, every molecule. And then it overflows and fills up your aura. So you're sitting in a bubble of your own neutral gold energy. Then when you feel all filled up, just give a little stretch and open your eyes. And I guess we could have the middle light on. Somebody back there. Thank you, Janice. Oh, thank you. I think that was Phil. Okay, so the animals that I asked to come to you represent energy that they are giving to you, that you are tuned into at this time. So the elephant, who got elephant? Elephants are caretakers. Lions, we tend to think of them as big and roar and king of the jungle. Lions bring harmony. Can you feel that energy? I just got goosebumps again. How about baboons? Okay, baboons. Baboons are family and relationship, so they bring that into your life. Rhinoceroses. A couple of rhinoceroses. Rhinoceroses are wisdom. Rhinoceroses are interesting in zoology terms. They're considered like a relic species, meaning like all similar species like them are no longer around. They evolved and became something else, and you still have this species that kind of is a little bit different than everybody else. And so rhinoceroses bring wisdom. Wildebeest, who had wildebeest? Wildebeest bring power. And if you think about it, wildebeest there's thousands of them, and they just take over the landscape, and it was one of the things, it was weird, because being somebody who's psychic, I'm feeling, wow, this is so, whatever. But the other people were saying the same thing. They're like, you just can't explain the vastness of this place. We're all trying to take pictures of miles. Wildebeest, as far as you can see, as a species, they have so much energy in that whole environment that is so big. I mean, as far as your eye can see, wildebeest. It's just crazy. It's a lot of power. And the lovebirds. Did you guys know lovebirds were from Africa? Yeah, who had lovebirds? We had some lovebirds in the back. Lovebirds are communication. I mean, think about it. They talk all the time. And people have them here in the United States. If they're raised here, you can have them, but you can't import them anymore. Okay, zebras. Who are my zebra people? Zebras are all of these things. Yeah. Isn't that pretty amazing? So anybody have any comments or questions they wanted to say about that meditation? I'm trying to get it on. Oops.
I got wildebeest, but the lion looked at me with one eye. It was like asleep, and it looked at me with one eye.
Oh, so Lanigan was Harmony. Oh, that's interesting. So you kind of got both of them. So Harmony, what was it? Harmony and Power. That makes sense. Peggy?
Oh, leave it to me to have something different. A cheetah came out of the grass along with your list of animals. So I don't know if your list goes beyond those 7, but and it walked right up to me.
Oh, cheetah. This makes sense for you. Cheetah is a traveler.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then, who was it? I saw somebody over here. Was it Mark?
I was just waving at someone.
Oh, okay. And then behind.
So I had the elephant and a child elephant, and I gave it a string of pearls, and then the zebra and a child zebra. So it was like a party.
Wow. The interesting thing about elephants is actually elephants and lions, they live in their family group with just the moms and the babies. Because when the males get old enough to breed, they take off and they're going and looking for other females that are ready to be romantic with them. So they wander around just looking for females because their cycles aren't like seasonal, like some animals that live in, North America. And so they just wander around, whereas the females, and one of the pictures I have, I call it the 3 moms because there's 3 moms kind of lined up and they all have babies at different ages. Mm-hmm. So the elephants are very family. What was the other one you said? The elephant and
Zebra.
and the zebra. And the zebras are all together, but even though they're all together, they move around. I mean, the moms and the babies are together. But they're also, I was amazed at zebras. They were actually all the animals because I'm an animal person, but I saw this one zebra and we were looking at her because she had this cute little baby, and then she turned, and on the back of her hip, it was big scars. She had survived a lion attack. So they're very tough, and they're very fast, and they're very smart. So what was, and you gave them pearls? I'm sorry.
I gave the elephant. I gave the elephant a string of pearls over her.
And what?
The mama.
And what did that mean for you? Were you just, or are you asking?
Oh, I guess I'm asking that it's also in Hawaii. It's a gift of aloha and love.
Okay. Well, there you go. That's and a recognition of her as a mama, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the matriarch elephant came to me, and she put her trunk on my shoulder, and she said, I'm gonna cry. She said, lead them with wisdom and grace.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Oh, got goosebumps.
Powerful. Thank you for that. Thank you.
Yeah. Wow. Anybody else want to? Any other comments? Janice, we have.
Getting my steps in.
I saw a gazelle before you started saying the animals, and it was really weird. I just saw it like it was peeking in, like I was in the air, and I just saw like peeking around like that. And then for some reason, all the grass was, some grass was going this way, then that way, then this way, then that way. It was like a pattern, and the wildebeest was laying down. And I don't know if you know who Ferdinand the Bull is.
Yeah.
I got that feeling of kind of peace, just relaxing, and it was laying down. You think of wildebeest as kind of like an aggressive, big, powerful animal, but it was laying down in the grass, just at peace.
And they do lay down. They take naps.
Yeah.
I mean, the picture in people's heads, I think, is they're moving all the time, but it's like, they're spread out, but there's a lot of them. But so the gazelle, does the gazelle have meaning to you, or are you asking?
It was curiosity mostly. It was just kind of peeking in, and I've had that experience with deer on the coast. They literally try to come into our house through the screen door. So it was kind of just there, a little nosy and curiosity, just looking at me. And
I kind of look at gazelle as like lookouts. If there's gazelle around, there's pretty good bet there's not lions. Yeah, it was hard to keep this. I kept this list to 7. I just wanted to keep going because giraffe is significant too, and this, but it was really, I was looking for certain elements that you guys might be interested in. Okay, I think we're ready to switch. Thank you, everybody.
Let's give her a big hand.
I gotta remember, what was God bless again? Mungu Ibariki.
Mungu Ibariki. So before you go, read the whole English version
Okay. Oh, and then
and
substitute.
substitute
African.
Divine Fellowship.
Okay. Just use the microphone. God bless the Divine Fellowship. Bless its leaders. Wisdom, unity, and peace. These are our shields. The Divine Fellowship and its people. Bless the Divine Fellowship. Bless the Divine Fellowship. Bless us, the children of Divine Fellowship. God bless the Divine Fellowship. Grant eternal freedom and unity to its women, men, and children. Bless the Divine Fellowship and its people. Bless the Divine Fellowship. Bless Divine Fellowship. Bless us, the children of the Divine Fellowship.
Amen.
Whoa! That is so cool!
Thank you for that.
That one's yours.
That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
That was amazing. Thank you. Here's your coffee.
Oh,
So Phil messed up our program, what we were going to do this morning, so my Bible verse isn't applicable to what today was about. So, let me read you one of my favorites then.
Which favorite is this?
About a long list.
Which page.
Shoot. Well,
She has marks on pretty much every page. Underlines and.
Okay. This wasn't the favorite one that I was gonna, but it's the one that came up.
Where is
This
it?
is Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23. Watch over your heart with all diligence, for from it flow the springs of life.
Cool.
I think we tapped into the springs of life today, did we not? And with Michelle's message, I thought that was amazing. Amazing, amazing. So, we're going to do communion. There's little communion cups in the back if you want to participate with us. This is our opportunity. Phil and I are followers of the way. We follow Jesus. He's the leader. And whether you do or not really makes us never mind. But what we do is we follow the way of love. We follow the way of kindness and peace. So with that, join us in prayer. Loving Spirit of light, protect our hearts. Keep us safe. Grant us peace. Guide us. Thank you. In the name of Jesus, the Ascended One. Amen.
Amen.
Join us in prayer again, please. Loving Spirit of light, as we drink this in, help us to drink in life, all of it. Whether we travel to Africa or we walk across the street, help us to be wherever we are, sensing your presence in all of it. Thank you. In the name of Jesus, the Ascended One. Amen.
Volunteer?
Nope.
Oh,
Yes.
Hello.
hello, volunteer.
Oh, hi.
Good to see you.
Thank you. I'm here today. Sorry, Jen.
Yes, you are here
Sorry.
today.
You cry if you need
I'm
to.
going to cry. 8 years ago, I walked into the store because I lost my mom. And I needed to find some comfort. And the Divine Fellowship gave me so much comfort. And in that 8 years, I keep coming back. Last night, I lost my little baby brother. And I could hear Janice's words from the Sunday before when she was explaining the meditation and the signs I had seen. And one of the things was faith, and that my faith would be renewed. And every time I walk into these doors, my faith is renewed because of our leaders and all of you that always welcome everybody that comes through that door. And sometimes we're in a good place, and sometimes we're a little broken, but I always leave here with a renewed faith. And so I want to thank all of you and the gratitude that you provide for this community. It doesn't go unnoticed. So thank you.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here. Goodness, that's hard. This was your baby brother?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I can't even imagine. So while the contribution's going around, I did want to share with you a couple of things that Nancy put together. We've had a bunch of little mini events
To try to take place of our big annual event that we don't do anymore.
Yeah,
after
the-
20 years of doing that.
The expo, we would clear well over 10 grand every year, and that would carry us through the year. So we've been doing lots of little mini things. So we had an Ancient Ones. We had 3 Ancient Ones sessions, and that netted $620 for that, all of that. We had A Course in Miracles has donated some stuff. United Way has donated stuff. So anyway, all of that to say is above and beyond the contributions, we've had $3,182 with our events and things that have happened. So thank you for that. Thank you all. And then I'm going to have you just take this back to Nancy. Because of the book, the tarot book that I have just produced and sold, was half of that. After I took off the expenses, I am giving half of it back to the Divine Fellowship, so that's $575 back to the church. So that's good. And where's this?
And this is mine for the tarot book.
Oh.
And some charms, same.
Okay, I'll get you squared away here in a bit.
Okay.
We'll talk. All right, so I think that's it for now. Let's do an energy circuit for the folks online. And again, if you folks want to donate, it's not. How can I say this? You're blessing us all with a sacred place. So thank you for your donations. A lot of people send stuff in. So rubbing hands together really fast, bringing energy in and bringing it into your heart space, from your heart space to your left hand back to your right hand. This completes that circuit when you connect it back to your heart. And this is divine energy building between your hands. Can you feel that? Can you feel that energy? Isn't that beautiful? This is sacred energy. This is above and beyond your own energy. This is divine love. And it's being gifted to you now. Bring that into your heart space. Carry that with you for the week. Be a blessing.